Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you've had a great week. I am coming at you on Wednesday and it's coming out tomorrow, so I've got quite a quick turnaround, but I've had this burst of I feel like I just need to talk and explain something because I've had a realization over the last few days. Now, I have been working quite a lot this week and I really struggle with taking a break. Like I said before in my recent podcast, it's important to take breaks, but sometimes I do struggle with allowing myself to have a break because I feel like if I work another hour, that's going to be me more productive. That's going to be me, I'm going to be more successful if I carry on working. When that's obviously not the case, and we know that I've analysed it before in the past that your body needs to rest and to recharge and actually have the energy to do something well. You need to have rest basically. And so I know it's important to have rests, but what also is important is to recognise and how far you've come. Now, for me, I never really tried hard at school. I used to use it as a social event. I did not care about my grades, and by me not caring about it meant I didn't try. So I was always in the bottom set. I mean, not gonna lie, I do find it difficult. That's probably why I was switched off during school, because I found it hard and I didn't like doing hard work or trying anything because I had no interest in maths, science, English. Maybe because I just thought it was hard and I didn't really understand. But then again, if I really wanted to, I probably could have got my shit together and actually tried to learn something. So school wasn't easy. I just used the years 9 till 11 as a social event, talking to my friends. I'd always distract them in class, and every parents' evening it'd be like, Katie's got so much potential but she doesn't stop talking, or she distracts people from the class. And I remember I used to be told off and sent out of class all the time for turning around and talking to people behind me, and it just wasn't, I just didn't want to be there basically. Now you might be thinking, why am I telling you this? This is in the past. I'm older, I've matured, but I want you to realise that where you are now isn't necessarily going to be you forever. So you don't really know what you're doing, you haven't really found your passion, you haven't got something you want to wake up excited for in the day. And that will change, and you will find what you're passionate about, what you're excited to wake up in the morning about, because everyone's got something. It's just about finding it out and trying new things until you find it. Believe me, I just thought that I was not passionate about anything, or that I was a lazy person, because there was nothing at that time that was interesting me to work and study and revise. But you will find it and you will want to work. But that's only going to come if you change. If you change what you're doing, if you immerse yourself in another environment, if you try something new, if you go somewhere new and learn different things, see different people. To change, you must grow. And it's about finding what makes you flourish the most and what excites you and what aspects you enjoy of life. So if you think that you've not really experimented or you've not really tried anything new since school, you've not put yourself out there, this is your sign to really try something new. Start something that you don't know anything about, because that you could grow to find that even more interesting than something you do love. For instance, I'm just going to go to my degree currently. I have always liked clothes and Instagram and social media and all of that. So I thought, brilliant, that's something I really enjoy. So I do fashion promotion as a degree, and I do really enjoy it. However, I've now slowly found out, because I've immersed myself in the degree, it's not necessarily something that I am 100% passionate about. I don't love fashion the way that I thought I did. It sounds quite superficial of me to say that, in the sense that I choose this degree because I like clothes, and yeah, it does sound, not the I don't know, I don't want to beat myself up about the degree I'm choosing. So it's about finding what you love, and sometimes one path that you thought would be your end goal maybe isn't, and you've got to go back and find a new path, or start a new journey, or start a new path, whatever. Keep your options open, keep looking up, and don't just focus on one thing, because there's so many things around you that you could pick up and really love. And that can be hard, about finding out what you want to do. Just throwing things back to year 11, so quite a while ago now, I went to sixth form. I changed schools because I just wanted to experience a different perspective on school life. However, my mindset with work was still very much the same. I didn't care about it. I didn't really want to do it. I was just doing it because it's the next step. It's what everyone tells you to do. You go to sixth form college just to get another level. And I went to this school, not knowing anyone, and I hated it. And after about 4 weeks, I left that school. I couldn't handle it. There was not enough support there because what I think I needed, and because I was just so lacking in any motivation to do with work, because I just didn't enjoy school. I found it really difficult. I needed a lot of support and support with my work, and also basically a kick up the arse and saying, come on, you've got this. I need someone to kind of believe in me because I didn't believe in myself. I kind of got taught from a younger age that I'm not very smart, from my peers and stuff, that I'm not very clever, that, I just couldn't, I'm not going to be like a smart girl. I'm not a smart girl. So, yeah. And so I kind of just embodied that and just thought, yeah, well, I guess I'm not that smart. So is there any point? And that was definitely the wrong attitude for me to have, because that is not the case. And everyone is smart in their own ways. And I might not have been, maths or sciencey smart, but I'm definitely smart in other ways. So coming back to my school, I had done not a lot of work because of me not trying and not having the support I needed. So I just kind of didn't really do anything. And then I came back, and the teacher, my new teacher that I had doing photography, she kind of looked at my book and was like, "Is this all you've done? Where's the rest of it?" And then I don't know why, but I just then started crying, and I thought she was not a very nice person. She was like, I've just literally my first class, and she's already, telling me I'm behind, basically that type of thing. And I later discovered that obviously it was never coming from a place of being mean or anything, but she just expected a lot because she saw the potential that I had. So she'd expect a certain amount, and I would work and deliver, but it was basically teaching me responsibility for what I was doing and learning to care about something, because I never really cared about work before. So she definitely made me see it in a different way. And I honestly don't think I would have been where I am here today unless I had her. And by that I mean I don't think I would have got into uni, or I don't think I would have even considered going to uni, because when it was the A-level results, I got them back and they were much better than I thought they were, because she'd pushed me hard and I'd actually worked a bit harder than I normally would have done. So I got them back and I was like, wow, okay, I can do this. All my friends are going to uni, but I've basically shut it down because I'm not work orientated. I won't do the work. There's nothing I'm passionate about. And so I just kind of never thought about it all summer. Everyone was applying to uni, but I never did, because I just thought, no, it's not for me. But actually what it was is I needed a boost. I needed to find something that I was just, when I say good at, I needed to find what I enjoyed. And they say this all the time, but if you find a job that you like or something you like, you never have to work a day in your life. And that is so true, because when I found that I could actually do what I wanted to do, I've got the grades for it, I'm creative, I could go to uni, I could go and do this. So day of results, I called up the uni that I'm at now and was like, hello, do you have any spaces? And luckily enough, with my grades and everything, they did. And so basically the next week I then was packing my bags and going off to uni, which was a complete 180 on the way that I thought my next 3-4 years were going to go. So if you're in sixth form or you're getting results for anything and you're thinking about going to university or not, or maybe you want to start a job or you want to start something else, it's okay to want one thing at the beginning of summer and then not at the end. So I thought I was going to work all through summer and then carry on that job. And then I turned around and was like, actually, a week, literally maybe a couple of days before, no, I don't want that. And I just switched up because something clicked in my head saying, I'm not going to stand for not following what I want to do. And I went and applied. So that flip of quitting my job, which was very, taboo, because I was working for a very small boutique doing social media and all of that. Anyway, I had to turn around after 8 weeks of summer, or whatever, a couple months of summer, and be like, listen, I can't. I had to switch and just be like, I've got to follow my dreams, and I've got better grades than I thought, so I'm going to take my bags and get out of here, get out of this small town and go do something. Now, the point of me saying this to you, and it's not to dishearten anyone if they, can or can't go to uni or don't want to, or they do. It's about, reassuring you guys that you can change your own narrative. And just because you might have a certain opinion about yourself or anyone else has a certain opinion about you doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to follow that or stick to it. If someone tells you that you're, let's just say, analogy, say if someone tells you you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you start to believe it, you start to internalize that. So then you kind of do think you're stupid or you do act stupid. But if you kind of go, I'm smart, I can do this, positive affirmations, giving yourself compliments and actually thinking, no, I can do something different, I can do what I want, that switch is so powerful. And the reason why I think my teacher was so impactful on like the way I see things now is because obviously my parents believed in me, but they kind of were always encouraging me to do more. Do more, Katie, get a new job, do this, because it never really was from a place that I was passionate for. My parents like wanted me to do all these jobs and, in summer get a job and send my CV off here, and I would do it because they were telling me to, but not because I wanted to. But when I was with this teacher, she made me believe and she made me find it within me, to find it in myself, to kind of have that passion and have the drive to want to do something for me and not for anyone else, not to please anyone. Because I wasn't doing it for her, I wasn't doing it for my parents, I was doing it for me. And starting university is definitely when it all switched and I started working for myself, because all the work is so independent at uni. You've really got to do it for you. And I think that's something that really you got to understand when you go to uni. There is no real help. And I didn't think that uni was for me because I thought I needed someone to kind of guide me and tell me what to do, because I was just didn't really know or didn't really care. I was kind of lazy in that sense. I just other people would do it. Like, I remember at school, it was a business test back in GCSEs. Sorry, we're going back now. Basically, I would just sit there until they did it for me. And that is so bad, and definitely, I don't know why I did that. I just was quite lazy at school. But I wasn't, like, uni is obviously so different from that. I've grown up such a lot, and now I'm doing things because I want to learn more and I want to better myself. For instance, this podcast, I love doing it and I work so hard on this because it's something I want to do in the future. Yes, I might not be paying for it now, but I know that if I carry on leveling up my skills and producing more content and I get better at it, maybe I can have a better chance of getting a job that I want to do in the future. It's about kind of finding what you like and leveling up those aspects of your life. And like I said, it can be something you're doing right now. Maybe you found the passion that you love. Maybe that is what you want to do. And you do that for 20 years, and then maybe after 20 years, you might think, oh, actually, I've had enough of that now. And it's okay to try something new. You're never too old to try something new, and because that might be something you love. Why, from a young age, are we told to always try new things, And then when we're an adult, we're just kind of stuck with what we're doing. And obviously, it is harder to get into a career or find a job if you've not got that years of experience. But unless you start something or you try it, you don't know unless you try. You don't know if you're going to love it unless you try it or even look at other options. That's why I'm like coming to you with this podcast, is that just because you think your life is going in one direction and you think that you've got this whole life planned out, or right now you think your life's going to be exactly the way it is because you're kind of just doing the same thing every day. It's not. If you change, if you take small steps and you always focus on little goals and take a step at a time, not look at the whole staircase, you will level up and you will grow and find out who you are and what you want to do. And I want you to know that it's okay if you don't know what you want to do, because I feel like there is different stages. And me at school, I did not know what I wanted to do. I wasn't experimenting. I kind of was in this small town life. And it's only really when I moved to Manchester and having that change over summer is when I really started to find out who I was and what I wanted to do for me. But that, like I said, it only comes with change. And when you try new things, don't be afraid to try new things. And yes, we make mistakes. And yes, some things might not go to plan, or you thought that something really was going to work out, but it doesn't. And it's about how we change and how we work with how life comes. And it's not an overnight epiphany. You don't just wake up one day and go, oh, this is what I want to do. This is like, I love this. It takes a while. It takes sticking at something, trying something new. I keep saying trying something new. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. That's how you do things. So when you do find something, it's this great feeling. I can now, hand on heart, say that I work really hard, but it's because it's something I really enjoy. And you will get there. You will find that one thing that you enjoy. Or there's many, maybe loads of things that you enjoy. But it's okay if you haven't found that yet, and you will find something. If there's anyone thinking about going to university or sixth form or whatever, I would definitely suggest doing something that you enjoy now. Don't think about what, your future. And when I say that, it sounds quite controversial, don't think about your future, but it's so important to enjoy what you're doing and take your passions when they come, because you don't know where that could lead to. Say if your parents are pushing you towards medicine or whatever, and you really hate medicine, chances are if you really hate medicine, that 4 years or longer, I don't know how long it takes to be a doctor or whatever, but chances are if you carry on doing it for so long at uni, you're not going to love it by the end of that time. You're going to probably resent it even more, and then kind of be stuck with this degree and this job that you don't necessarily want. So it's about really finding something that you enjoy and pursuing that. Like for me, I really loved clothes. I liked social media. I like being creative. So the degree I'm doing at the moment really fitted in with that. And still really do enjoy it, but necessarily I don't want to go into just fashion. I want to do things on a wider scale. I don't want to just stick to clothes. Going to university is about giving you time to kind of find out who you are and learn about a certain something. You don't have to go, into a certain, just because I'm doing fashion promotion doesn't mean that I'm going to be a fashion promoter. It could be something different because you learn different skills. And so I was at this Gymshark run club a couple months ago now, and I was speaking to the head coach, Johnny Hammond, amazing guy, so nice. And I actually did like 1.5k just like running, speaking to him for the whole way, and I was like so tired, but I was just like so like going off adrenaline because I was talking to this important like guy that I like admired. I was just kept going, so it was really great. But he gave me a piece of advice. He said, don't try and fit yourself into a box. He said, with your degree, don't just apply for what you think your degree is about, because chances are your degree is a very small part of you. And yes, jobs maybe they need a degree, maybe they just need certain skills, but to work at a certain place or a company, or to be, considered for a job, you've got to have certain qualities like teamwork, problem solving, and communication. They're just general things you've got to like kind of. But he said, don't limit yourself. Don't put yourself in just a small box where you only think you could do a certain job, because businesses, the companies, unis, they look for the person. They look for the person that's going to fit. And yes, you've got to have the key things they're looking for, but it's not necessarily, you're not just your degree. He's basically saying to me, don't limit your options. But now I'm going to keep an open eye, and I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm not going to, put myself in a small box and just think, this is only me, this is only what I can do. I'm going to keep looking, and if there's something I like the sound of, trying it out. You never know where it could get. I spoke to him about a month before I started planning Girl Next Door, and he actually was one of the people that inspired me to start it and not just sit in my little box and kind of keep myself to myself. He just basically said, keep hustling, keep working on yourself in different environments, keep learning, keep trying new things, because like I said again, the only way you can grow is to learn, to change. And I'm not scared. I was so scared to try new things, to step out my comfort zone, but fuck me, has it been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. Really putting my life first. And so that's basically what I did, and I've been doing that ever since. But if I think about it, going from not caring about work, not having any passion for anything really, to now being at university, caring so much about, the degree and what I'm doing in that case, got my own passion project on the side of it, this podcast and my Instagram. I'm now in a whole new place in my life, and I feel very overwhelmed with it now. I feel like I've gone from one extreme to another, and I've literally not had the time to prepare for it. And because I've now had this mindset, I've told myself for such a long time that I'm lazy, that I'm not doing enough, not working hard enough. I now have got a lot going on, and I feel so productive, but it's almost like I'm still ingraining that you're not good enough, you're not trying hard enough, because it's basically what I've been telling myself my whole life, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not trying hard enough, I'm not working hard enough. And I was saying that to my mum the other day, and she was like, Katie, look how far you've come. You didn't even know what you wanted to do. You're at university, which we never thought, like, you were going to go to. You have now, you've got firsts in your assignments, which is crazy because that is crazy for me. I'd never ever got like an A or anything like that. So there has been a switch, and I'm definitely trying so much more harder than I was before, but I still don't think that's good enough. And she basically told me that you've got to look how far you've come. Yes, focus on the next step, but don't forget to look behind you. Look how far you've come, okay? Don't just always look in front of you, because look how far away you've come. It's so important. And then when I heard that, obviously I knew it. I knew kind of what she was saying was right, but it's just nice to hear from other people when they just say you've come a long way. So this is me telling you, you've come a long way. Even if you don't think you've come far, even if you think, oh, I was the same person than I was 2 years ago, you're not. You've definitely learned a lot of things. It's about finding out, focusing on the good things, okay? So everyone's, developed from who they were yesterday. You've learned more. Every day that passes, you learn something new. Even if you don't, necessarily pick up on it, you do. But looking back at where you come from is so important. And after I kind of like acknowledged what she was saying and kind of realised she was being true, I then was a lot more satisfied with what I was doing. There's only a certain amount of time you've got in the day. Fill it with things that you enjoy and things that inspire you, but make sure there's time to reflect and to have time just for you. Yes, think about how you can level up and what you can do to kind of make your life a bit better, but don't disregard anything else. Just keep it balanced. Try new things, but don't worry if those things don't work out. Something else will, and it's about getting back up, not worrying about what didn't work and focusing on what does and what you love doing. I'm just going to wrap up the podcast now, but I just want to say again that no matter what job you're in right now, whether you're going to go to university, you're not at university yet, you are planning on doing something that maybe is a bit different, maybe you want to start a podcast, or you want to start a fitness account, or you want to do something different from what you're doing now, you can do it. And it's a journey, definitely, but who's to say that you can't do it? Who's to say you can't do it? If you tell yourself you can't do it, and you tell yourself that you're not good enough, and you kind of listen to what younger you would be, then you're never going to change. If you're always going to focus on thought about yourself as the past, you're not going to grow and flourish. Always think about what your higher self would do and what actions you're going to take to be that higher person. Might be one little step, 1% better than you were yesterday, but that still is 1% better. That's still progress, and that is amazing. Okay, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it today. I hope you've enjoyed. Please remember to follow this podcast if you like it. It really helps me out. And follow me on Instagram. It's at girlnextdoor_podcast. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.